What's good, gente? It's your boy Conejo, man, and y'all saben, man, we got a good one. As you guys can see, man, on the title and the thumbnail, I'm going to be speaking about that individual tank, homie, from Casitas. Um, this is an individual that I met in Soledad as well as the homie Ebo, you know what I mean? But I had met him before Ebo, right? And this is an individual that we pushed back, at the end, because he ended up going backwards, you know what I mean? Instead of going forward, going backwards in certain situations. It's gonna be a little funny story, actually. It's gonna get funny. You guys are gonna get your little clown on and all that, right? So I hope you guys like this video, man. So make sure to hit thumbs up on this video, hit that notification bell in case we go live, and drop some comments, homie, at the same time, right? And if you're a new viewer, homie, make sure to subscribe, homie. It's free at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, man, let's get started, man. So I'm gonna be speaking on an individual named Tank. Or at least that's what he said his name was, right? He's a little light-skinned individual, pretty much around my age. So a lot of the individuals, there's gonna be a few individuals that actually know this dude, right? And they might speak a little bit different about him because maybe he acts different when he's with his homies from his area, right? But we're gonna be speaking on this individual on how he was doing time and how he pretty much got pushed back, homie, for being a weenie, corn dog, softer than cotton, and like some other individuals that your boy has put out there, just like them fools, right? Pretty much, to get started, I would have to go a little bit to how everything went down, right? So pretty much, I had gotten to Soledad, like I said, at the beginning of 2012, right? I had gotten there pretty much, and ended up coming across these individuals that were pretty much, already compas, but they weren't really putting it down and actually going by how we're supposed to, right? Like by the rules and bylaws that we actually have. These individuals were just doing what they wanted. So when we got there, it was me, the homie Puck, Demon, Sabo. There was a couple righteous ones, homie. You know what I'm saying? There was another one from San Jose. Just can't come to my name right now, bro. To be quite honest, but there was another one, right? There was two homies from San Jose, one from Baisa, and a homie from Humboldt, right, from Humboldt County, and myself, right, that had gone there pretty much at the same time. And we went through the whole orientation process. And while we're doing that, Solid that happens to have where you can actually look at the yard, homie, right? So we were looking at the yard, homie, and well, at least I was, right, and I was paying attention, like, okay, where's all the compas at, right? And when they would walk by, homie, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, right? I would be like, "Riders," you know what I mean, to see if any of them would reply back, homie. And none of them did, you know what I'm saying? None of them never actually replied back. So I was like, man, what the fuck? So what ended up happening was that when we went to yard, well, we started pushing the laps, and a couple of the compas actually were blasted with the rider stuff, right? So they were able to stand out a little bit more than others. And this individual happened to come across from homie Tank from Salinas, some fool named Vic or V from I want to say Merced or something like that. All these individuals pretty much got pushed back, bro. You know what I mean? Because they were making the riders look bad. So what ended up happening with this individual Tank, because this video is about him, pretty much when all these things were going down, like we were fixing and establishing the yard, right? Because even though they were there, it was a messed up yard, bro. You know what I mean? It was actually a messed up yard, and I say that in the sense we didn't have nothing actually established, homie. Like we didn't have no tables, we didn't have nothing like we're even post up, right? What some people would consider a hood in prison. So we were actually getting all that together, right, and taking over little spots like, hey, this is our spot now, right? And this individual, well, he got pumped up, homie. Tank felt like he was unstoppable, I guess, right? And got into some issues with some natives, with the native card and the so-called SAP program. He got into it with some natives, and pretty much they got into argument, and the native pretty much had called him out for a fade, homie. Like, hey, I'm gonna need that, homie. You know what I'm saying? You have to run that in. And old boy was nah, homie. Wait until I tell my homies, right? So the native was like, tell your homies. You ain't called him a B word, you know? He's like, man, you a B, homie. He's like, fool, you ain't about nothing, G. Like he punked him, homie. He's all waiting for your homies, man. And so he said, F your homies, which I'm pretty sure a lot of individuals would have said, like, man, fool, we're your homies. Like, fuck them fools, you know? So he ended up saying that, and old boy didn't do nothing. And in all reality, people know that if you're a rider, homie, you run all fades, even if you lose. At the end of the day, we have policies where we don't allow our members to get victimized or get stomped out, right? Let's say that would have happened. We would have taken care of the issue, right? But at the end of the day, let me continue back to the story. That's another subject to get brought up. And if you guys want to know a little bit about it, make sure to drop a comment and let me know, right? So we ended up actually, he ended up not catching a fade, pretty much getting punked, homie. So he went back to his building. I happened to be in Shasta, you know what I mean? I believe he was in Whitney. Those are the buildings. If you guys are like wondering what those are, those are the buildings, right? So someone that was in any all the people that were in SAP were pretty much in Whitney because it's closer to that building and stuff, right? But there's actually workers and stuff like that that work inside the SAP program that are considered to be like lifers and stuff like that, right? They ended up actually coming over there and telling us about it, right? So I caught wind right away, and the homies that were in my side caught wind. So we sent them word like what happened. So they explained it to us. The native was on our side pretty much, right? So he was like, "Hey, G." So I believe the native was actually like a mentor, homie, when it came to the SAP program. And he told us like, "Hey, bro, he threw you guys under the bus, why?" And he explained it like, but in his way to make it seem like he had not dissed us, you know. So we are like, "All right, homie, we're gonna do an investigation. We'll see what's up, right?" What ended up happening was, well, old boy got punked, homie, and he ended up throwing the thing, so he made us look bad. So what we ended up deciding to do, right, was pretty much uh, push back the compa. You know what I'm saying? I'll just say push back because I know some people are gonna be like, well, "Did you take action?" Well, when people get pushed back, more than likely stuff does happen at the time, right? So this individual did allegedly get taken care of, and we got him off the yard. Um, when we got to the whole actually deciding getting rid of him, it kind of seemed like, oh boy, the native was like, man, you know what I mean? This individual got the boob up, and pretty much it kind of made us look bad at the same time, right? So we ended up actually deciding to get off on the native as well, taking care of two issues, right? Just to prove a point, you know what I mean? I understand like your point Conejo doesn't promote violence or nothing like that, but this is in the past, homie. You know what I mean? That's why your boy Conejo wasn't able to stay in Soledad for that long. I believe I was only there for 6 months, and pretty much we ended up getting off on the native as well, and pretty much just to prove a point, you know, like to settle that no one was gonna end up punking or like dissing the riders, right? Because at the end of the day, he did diss us as well as when he said, "F your homies," right? At the end of the day, I understand it wasn't really a personal beef, but it was to prove a point to others that we weren't gonna have other people diss our members and stuff like that. Especially because at that time we weren't that deep, bro. I think I want to say we're like 8 deep, like as riders, right? Because we happened to push back hella people from Vic to Tank. Um, what was that other fool? Cisco. It was a Cisco from, I want to say Merced too. Um, who else? What was his name? Was it DJ? DJ from Milpas or something like that. Yeah, he was. There was a couple individuals that got pushed back, bro. It is because they were weak, homie, and they were using pretty much the rider as like a protection thing, you know. And by the time I left, I remember that shit got established. You know, there was a hella compas there that were posted and stuff, but because of these individuals like Tank, homie, they really would give a bad taste to a lot of individuals when it came to the riders, right? Because like he actually thought that we were gonna protect them in that sense. Like, hey, bro, you gotta really be able to fight your own battles. So for the individual that was like, hey, bro, what tank are you talking about, right? I hope I explained on a certain tank. He was from Casitas. He was light skinned, homie. And at the end of the day, he was a weenie, you know. So he did make Salas look bad at the same time. So I hope you guys like this video, homie. This was just pretty much to put it out there because I did bring it up on the last video on with Evil, right? So I figured out it's only right to fucking make the video about him and pretty much explain what happened, bro. That he got punked by a native. And shout out to the native brothers, you know what I'm saying? Nothing but respect, homie, at the end of the day. But you guys wouldn't even consider him a native, especially because a lot of individuals in prison, they tend to actually, and I'm gonna make a video about that. Why certain natives are considered not to be real natives, especially because they ran as a norteño, sureño, and half the time they don't really have that much of a native blood in them, right? But they choose to go that route, which is a respects at the end of the day. But yeah, so I hope you guys like this video. If you have any comments or any questions or comments, make sure to drop them, homie. You know, let your boy know, like, hey, can you explain a little bit about this? And hey, I'll get into that, right? I didn't want to make this video super long, and you guys already know what's up, man. So that's gonna be a profile on Tank and how he went out, and as well as some other individuals for pretty much ranking it, homie. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I hope you guys like this video, like I said. So make sure to hit thumbs up, subscribe, that notification bell, all that good stuff, right? And let your boy know what's up, homie. And with all that being said, man, it's your boy Conejo, and I'm out.